Okay.
9th August. Okay.
Okay. So so today we will discuss about these concepts. So before starting RAG, actually, first we need to understand what is model fine tuning. Uh, we can try some of the examples actually. Okay, quickly to train the models. And I think you are familiar with all these name terminology, right? Like LoRa, QLoRa, model inferencing, model optimization, model pruning. Okay, we'll quickly touch on these topics as well. Okay, before jumping into RAG. So, without understanding the problems which are there in the fine tuning, right? So you don't understand RAG. Okay, so that's why I want to discuss about these first, and then we'll jump into RAG. Okay, so in our one of our previous sessions, we already discussed about Hugging Face, uh, but that day we didn't train actually. We didn't train the model. We quickly gone through Hugging Face portal and explored some of the features from that. So today we'll quickly train one of the models and see how auto train actually works in Hugging Face. Okay. So here,
నాయుడు సారీ
hmm,
రికార్డింగ్ ఇనిషియేట్ చేసావా
hmm, hmm.
లేదే
No, no, it is a Google Meet. I am doing in this OBS studio.
ఓకే
Yeah, it will be recorded.
ఫైన్
Yeah. So we need to understand why do we need to do fine tuning. Okay. So here, yeah, yeah. So here we have okay. So here we have an LLM. Okay, we have an LLM,
Yeah.
so, which is trained with some data. Okay, for example, uh, this model actually trained on 31st December, 31st December 2024. Okay, basically
Mm.
they had been training this model from almost 1 year, and the training actually got completed on 31st December. Okay, just assume that. Okay, this is just one scenario. So this is the LLM, and this got training till 31st December 2024, and after 31st December, okay, 2024, whatever new data is there, okay, and whatever new updates are there in the your application, or your system, or your wherever. I'm talking about the general, very generic actually. If you take any current updates and all, this LLM, this particular LLM doesn't know about all of these. Okay, so whatever happens, whatever is happening after first Jan to till today. So till today, this LLM basically doesn't have that information, and when you build an application, chatbot application, and your chatbot actually doesn't answer. Basically, your LLM actually doesn't answer the data up, which is there after first Jan, actually after first Jan to till date. Okay, why this LLM doesn't answer? Because this training got completed on this day, and whatever training was done, whatever data was trained on this LLM knows about only that actually. Okay, it doesn't know beyond that. Basically, it doesn't know after that, or on 31st December, there is some, they trained with some 100 GB data. Okay, for just an example. So whatever data, this 100 GB only, this LLM knows about only this 100 GB data, and beyond this data, it doesn't know. It doesn't answer whatever we ask here actually. That is the main problem. Okay, basically LLMs basically work on only historical data, not on the real data, not on the up to date data. Okay, until you fine tune, or until you do something else to do that. Okay, like for example, RAG is one of the techniques where you can force your LLM to work with your custom data actually. Okay, that is the RAG. We'll talk about that RAG separately, but without rag, the LLM itself, doesn't work with all the new data, or the data which is not trained beyond this training period actually. Okay, so this LLM doesn't know about the data. That's why, I mean, your chatbot or AI agent, whatever you built, right, that doesn't answer. Okay, basically chatbot internally connects to LLM only, right? So it doesn't answer that. This is the first problem. Okay, so if you don't have, I mean, if your LLM doesn't answer the latest data, what is the problem? It is useless, right? I mean, sometimes we have to answer the questions in real time, and we have to address some real time problems and all. So, for example, if you take Swiggy or Zomato, they also integrated, chatbots. Okay, uh, before AI, Swiggy and all, they had physical customer care people. Okay, whenever there were problems, people used to connect with them, and okay, my order was not delivered, my order got delayed. Those kind of problems were addressed by the physical people, actually, basically the customer people. Okay, but after integrating chatbot with Swiggy, now the chatbot is answering all these actually. Okay, whenever there is a delay, it is addressing. Whenever there is a payment failed, it is addressing. Okay, but how the chatbot is addressing those problems? Because all the order data, everything is actually real time. Okay, it's not historical data, it's not last year order, right? It is current order, it is today's order. So that's why, I mean, it is very much important that our LLM should work with our latest data, or the real time data. Okay, so this is the, I mean, this is the main problem with, LLMs. Okay, so you have all the latest data, but your LLM doesn't answer. Okay, so to address this problem, okay, if you want to make your LLM to work with your data, or your company data, or your latest data, so the first approach is actually is there actually, that is actually called fine tuning. Okay, so fine tuning, what is fine tuning? So fine tuning is basically a process of, training the LLMs. Okay, so here there are some different workflows and all. Okay, to train LLMs, we have to, prepare the data set. We have to prepare the data sets, and we have to train LLMs using some tools. There are many tools in the market where we can use them to train the LLMs. Okay, so fine tuning is the basically the process of, LLMs, training process for the LLMs, where we can use the latest data, whatever, I mean, recent data, which can be trained with LLMs. So how to train this? Okay, I mean, what are the problems with the training? So here, in our previous sessions, actually, we discussed about neural networks. Okay, all LLMs are actually built on top of neural networks, right? So here we have different types of neural networks, like uh, RNN, LSTM, and transformers. Transformers is the main neural network where all modern LLMs are using, like GPT, Gemini. All are actually using transformers neural network. Just a minute, I think someone is joining. Hello, Harun.
Bye-bye.
Hello. After
Naidu bye.
after long time.
यार నీ కన్నా లాంగ్ టైం ఏంటి అది ఫస్ట్ సెషన్ తర్వాత ఇప్పుడేనా
uh,
ఓకే ఓకే అవును
okay.
రాజు నువ్వు ఏంటి గుడ్ స్టూడెంట్ నువ్వు రెగ్యులర్ స్టూడెంటా రాజు
Prasad, he is very serious about learning.
Regular.
అవును ప్రసాద్ రెగ్యులర్ స్టూడెంట్
Hmm. Okay. Okay, we'll continue. We'll come back. Just yeah. So here, yeah. So we are talking about actually fine tuning. So basically, we have to. There are different neural networks. RNN, LSTM, and CNN for image processing, and transformers. Transformers is the latest. I mean, basically the actual neural network where all modern LLMs are using, like GPT and Gemini Pro. Every I mean, all the recent LLMs are actually using transformers neural network. Okay, so this is one of the main neural networks where it is widely used in the modern LLMs. Okay, so here uh, to train LLM, basically we would need a huge infra. Okay, that is one of the key areas where companies are not okay to spend money actually. Okay, why why huge infra is required? Because neural networks, actually we discussed about neural networks and how the data will get trained, and what are the biases, what are the weights and all, right? So internally inside the neural networks, basically everything is a mathematical calculation, and that requires high computing power. Basically, uh, if you see, I mean, I will just touch about how GP actually works. I mean, you might have already studied about that. So here, whenever we write any program, or by default it is sequential, right? We write sequential programs, and if you want to run them on GPUs, or wherever, I mean, using multi-threading and parallel processing, same program won't run actually. We have to rewrite the program for those kind of devices, like, I mean, those kind of devices like GPUs and all. We have to implement multi-threading or programming for that sequential programming. Okay, so here if you take GPUs, I mean, if you take CPU actually will have limited cores, right? Here, for example, you have 16 cores or 32 cores or whatever. So each we know that each core actually executes one thread, and in CPU, with CPU actually we can run a maximum 16 threads or 32 threads, whatever, based on the number of cores available in the CPU. Okay, so if you take some high-end CPU based system also with more cores, maximum it would be 64 cores, or 128 cores. Okay, not beyond this. Okay, so at a time, I mean, we can run only 64 threads or 128 threads at a time in the that particular CPU. Okay, so but when it comes to the model training, so there it requires huge number of calculations. Okay, so that's why, I mean, GPUs are required. Inside GPU, I mean, if you see GPU architecture, actually GPU basically consists of more cores actually. Like, for example, if you see the latest GPU from NVIDIA, that has 16K cores. Okay, so imagine, I mean, how compared to CPU, GPU, I mean, here we can run 16K threads at a time actually inside GPU. Okay, so when it comes to machine learning and neural network training, there are high computational calculations, and so those require huge, I mean, cores actually here. So that's why, I mean, we would need GPUs to run machine learning models and LLMs on that. So here we already discussed about how internally works, right? So here all calculations only, basically all maths only here, right? Vector multiplication and matrix multiplication and vector and matrix multiplication. So only those operations will be there here actually mainly. Okay. Inside that again it will be addition and subtractions only. Basically GPUs are inside GPU. It is just a basic calculator actually. It does addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and all. Okay. So here the point is, running basically training LLM is not an easy job, because it requires huge infra and GPU based systems to train it. So that's why, I mean, it is an expensive task. Okay, it is an expensive thing. So that's why, I mean, before fine tuning we have to consider all of these. We have to, companies ready to pay for fine tuning or not. Most of the companies are not ready, because who wants to spend more money on training, because there are many ways to use LLMs, right? Like by using some inferencing models, some cloud LLMs like Azure Cloud and Azure OpenAI and all. So yeah, coming back to the problem here. First, the problem is LLMs basically doesn't have the latest data. The fine tuning is required, and to fine tune, we would need huge infra. So that is also a problem here. Okay, so I mean, really, do we need to fine tune or no? That depends on case to case actually. We cannot say no, or we cannot say yes also. Okay, some companies, like some 1% of companies, I think they have infra, they are spending infra, and uh, installing, deploying LLMs and training their company data with those LLMs. Okay, so but 99% of companies are not ready to fine tune models because of the cost. So what they are doing is they are basically using a different approach like RAG or or Grok. Grok is also an inferencing model, right? So which is very fast actually. It is from Elon Musk company XCA something actually, that Grok API. Yeah. So finally you got it right. So here the problem here is, I mean, fine tune the models. I mean, we would need infra, that is the main thing, and data sets preparation. Okay, so we just we cannot just I mean train LLMs with some unstructured data. Okay, so we have to prepare the data sets in the structured format like JSON or CSV or whatever formats, I mean, are supported. We have to prepare the data in those formats and then train that. That is again another headache actually. Like we have to spend more time on preparing the data sets itself to train the models. Okay, we cannot just give like some PDFs and all. We cannot give just like that. It should be structured actually. So that is also another problem. Okay, so okay, now companies are ready, and I mean, if you really want to train LLMs for your business cases or whatever, so there are ways to train it. Okay, so we will see how to train an LLM. We'll create a sample data set and then check it quickly. Okay, so if you don't, I mean, till now, if you have not used Hugging Face, log in, I mean, create an account and you can start using that actually. This is really interesting platform where many people are actually using, and here we could do many things actually. Okay, in Hugging Face here, yeah, so here in Hugging Face there are a lot of options actually. Like we can create data sets here, we can use some existing data sets. Okay, and these are the models. Many people, it's like our LinkedIn and our social community. Like, I mean, for example, uh, network issue, I think. Just a minute. I'm audible.
Of course.
Just a minute. I think some issue.
think instead of you prepare building the infrastructure and train
I'm switching to mobile network. Just a minute. Some issue, I think.
open source LLM and then train it to your needs. Further than chase, you can deploy it again and you can share it with other members, other teams.
Yes, yes.
Or you can use the existing ones.
Yeah. This is like AI platform where you can train the models. You can use other models, as Prasad mentioned, and we can share actually. Like it's like your Insta link, not LinkedIn, but your Insta. You can share your content, right? Similarly, here we can share the models with others. Okay, and if you want to do this training locally, we have. Uh, I mean, less configured laptops, right? I mean, we don't have GPUs and all, but here it provides a cloud infra where we can use it actually. I mean, it provides some GPUs also. Okay, so for some basic learning and understanding, this is really useful actually. We really don't need to buy high-end laptops to run LLMs and all. Okay, so we could use Hugging Face portal platform to do that. Okay, so once you yeah, create an account here, and once you log in into Hugging Face, here on the top in navigation you see here models. Okay, here you see some 2 million models are there actually. Okay, 2 million models actually from different people on this platform, basically on Hugging Face. Many people actually they trained, they shared. Here we can create some public models and private models as well. When you create a model with public, it will be visible to everyone actually. Whoever is logging into Hugging Face, they can see these models. Okay, and I told you about the data sets, right? Data set is the key actually for training. Okay, as I told you, we cannot train LLMs with unstructured data. We cannot give some PDF files and then train. We cannot do that. Okay, we should. I mean, we can. It's not possible actually. So we have to prepare. Okay, what is the like? We have to give. I mean, there is no magic, right? So here we have to tell. Okay, this is the data. This is the some output. Okay, and for example, uh, for some medical research or medical related answers, okay, if you want to get those remedies and all, so how GPT answers those? Like if you give a disease, it answers, right? Basically, the LLM already got trained with that data. That's what it is answering, okay? But some rare problems and some specific problems, no, the GPT might not answer that. So, but if you want to train some additional medical data, what you could do is, I mean, we can create a data set saying, okay, medical the disease and remedy, and two. I mean, it's like key value pair. So, key will be or the what is the disease and remedy is the value. Okay, so we have to prepare in that set and then train the LLM, and then after training it will be able to answer all the diseases which are actually trained in that model. Okay, so that is also, I mean, another one of the use cases actually we can think about it. uh, and the space is actually where, you know, it provides a cloud VM, and we can use it for, you know, training. So I will quickly show you that. We don't need to spend much time on this because this is not much useful actually. It is only for your understanding. Okay, but in real time, we no company does, and we really don't need to train LLMs because there are many LLMs which are open source, and even then licensed also. Companies are ready to pay license, I mean, that fee and get the subscription. Actually, companies are doing that. I mean, companies are making tie-ups with Microsoft Azure and OpenAI and Google and all. Okay, and one good news is OpenAI also entered into open source actual community. Recently, day before yesterday only, they hosted one GPT OSS model into Olama. You could try that actually. Okay, I will quickly show you. I think you might have seen that in the here. If you go to Olama, till now, OpenAI was not into open source models. Okay, they are paid models. Okay, the GPT-3, GPT-4, GPT-5, all are paid models. But to compete with DeepSeek and other open source models like Llama and all, they started, you know, open source also. This is a good news actually. Here, if you see, the first model is GPT OSS only. GPT OSS is actually, this is from OpenAI. They hosted on 3 days ago only. Before that, GPT OpenAI was not into open source models. Okay, and we could try this actually. This is very powerful than other models actually, like Mistral and all, because this has 20 billion model and 120 billion. So two models they released. The difference between other models like Mistral and all is their base models are actually 8 billion parameters only. But here their base model itself has 20 billion parameters. It means it has more, you know, capabilities to answer the questions and all. Here also they mentioned, right, OpenAI weight models designed for powerful reasoning, agentic tasks, versatile developed for use cases and all. Okay, so this is a good thing actually. Now we got more powerful open source model.
చాట్ జీపీటీ 5 అనేది ఇప్పుడు ఈ మోడల్ నుంచి వచ్చింది అనేది.
Chat GPT 5, they are using for commercial purpose only. For I mean, now they are giving it for free actually for all the users, but eventually it is a paid. I mean, it is into GPT Pro version and all. That GPT-5 and GPT OSS is different. GPT-5 they developed for only commercial purpose. GPT OSS, it is less powerful than GPT-5 actually, but compared to other open source models, this is good. I mean, the main advantage here is this model has 20 billion parameters, and that context also 128K. Okay, so here, what does it mean by context? Context is basically the number of tokens which LLM is actually capable of, you know, giving the response actually. Okay, when you when you give a prompt, it will go as a token only, right? The prompt will be converted into tokens, and tokens will be converted into embeddings, and embeddings will be sent to LLM. LLM, I mean, internally, it works with I mean, all maths only, right? We already discussed about that, and yeah, when LLM responds, right, the response in the response actually, it maximum, it can I mean, in one session, in one go, it can give, you know, 128 tokens actually. That is what is context actually specifies here. I mean 128 context is big only, around 1 lakh words actually, 1 lakh words in single
Is that for
response,
input or output?
includes both.
Hmm.
That is how yeah, these companies will charge actually, like it's token based, right? Whatever we get and whatever they give, everything will be charged. When we use paid models, the companies will charge on the number of tokens. This will include both actually. I mean, when you give and it will come, the both will be both will have this 128K tokens actually. So this is really good actually. I mean 128 context is really good.
Okay,
Okay.
one question. When you said um, OpenAI open sourced this model,
Hmm.
can you explain how we can use this?
We can use it like some Mistral and other
Ante,
Mistral.
can you connect it to,
We can download locally.
while it is okay? You can download local.
In the first session we have tried Olama, right?
Yeah,
Here,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh,
Okay.
till now it was not possible. I mean, till 7th August, it was not possible. I mean, we were not able to, because they didn't put it as an open source, right? So,
So now you can download it and can you retrain it, further train it?
yeah,
Is that what
yes,
you
yes,
can
yeah,
do?
yeah. Here,
Hmm.
Olama, yeah, I could directly give you actually here. Olama run GPT OSS. It will download here into my system.
Yeah. Hmm.
And we can work with like any LLM actually, like Llama 3 or Mistral or Mistral and all. I think yes, it's a space issue. The model which you're attempting to
Hmm.
request a new version of Olama. It requires Olama upgrade. We have to upgrade Olama and then it will
Okay.
download this. Yeah.
Hmm.
This we should try actually. I mean, this is really a good thing, good news actually for open source users actually. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. Now coming back to Hugging Face. Yes. So yeah, Spaces basically it provides a VM where we can directly run and do that. I will quickly show you to, I mean, how to create a space and all. Here we can click on new space, and here's
Hmm.
space name. We can give my new training project or whatever. I mean, we can give any name. My new training project, training LLM project. Okay, and short description license. We can give. Yeah, might something is there, but yeah, here we can choose, select this space SDK. We can choose Docker basically internally it provisions VM, and on top of VM Docker will be installed, and Docker will run this
Hmm.
image, basically auto run image. Okay, auto train actually, not auto run, auto train image. Yeah, here you see auto train. And here hardware we can choose two CPUs, 16 GB free. Okay, and GPU upgrade, they will charge actually 0 point per hour.
Hmm.
We can choose free one. Okay, and that's it. We can make it public actually, where others can view that. Okay, and that's it. Create space. Okay, once this space is created, yeah, once this space is created, it provides an interface where we can use it for training. Okay, so we will see the options here, and here you
Can
see
you
it.
do this with AWS and other
Huh,
web services as well, like
yes, yes.
running this in your AWS and but
Yes, yes, yeah. AWS has a service called SageMaker.
mm,
We should use SageMaker to train LLMs actually. Yes, we can use cloud also.
okay.
Okay. Yeah, it will take I think 1 minute to provision the VM and host that application actually. Yeah, here it will ask you for the sign in into Hugging Face. We have to authorize actually here. Once we authorize, yeah, so this is interesting actually. Just I will quick. I don't touch all of them because it takes
Mm,
it takes a long time. I mean, yeah, here project name you can you can put my uh, customer or custom training or training LLM something. Okay, yes, LLM. Okay, and here we have to choose some options. Actually, we do some. I mean, we'll do some basic training. Actually, here the task here we have LLM SFT. SFT basically is supervisor fine tuning. Uh, this is for this is for
ఇక్కడ
when you
బేస్ మోడల్ ఇక్కడ ఏమైనా సెలెక్ట్ చేయొచ్చా? జీపీటీ సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకోవచ్చా?
this base model will this will get changed based on the type of the task actually. Okay, whenever we work with some text classification like some NLP related tasks, right? We have to choose that actually. For example, the training which we are going to do is actually text classification. Okay, so when you change it, the base models will be changed actually here. Okay. So, I mean, what I want to train is here I have a sample file for quick. Yeah, here I have this is my test data. This is my data set. Okay, I have this is the basically label text target. Okay, here. Yeah, I love this project. I love this product. I mean, it's like feedback actually. It's basically a sensitive uh, data training. So here I love this product and target is actually it is a positive, not good quality. It is a negative. I just repeated actually. Okay, I mean it could be anything actually. Basically you have to prepare data set like this. Okay, so my data set is ready. This same kind of format we can use it for that medical example which I have given. Like here you can mention disease, okay, and remedy or whatever. Okay, so disease you will here you will mention, okay, what is the disease? Cancer. Okay, what is the treatment for that? For to LLM we have to give everything like this actually. Otherwise it doesn't know how does it know? Okay, so here there is no magic and all. We have to give
Can't
data.
it use the same reasoning that it already has? జనరిక్ రీజనింగ్ ఉంటుంది కదా, దాంతో మల్టిపుల్ ఫార్మాట్స్. ఇప్పుడు మనకి ఇన్పుట్ అంటే ఏముంటాయి? మేబీ సిఎస్వి ఫైల్, ఎక్సెల్ ఫైల్, పీడిఎఫ్ ఫైల్, డాక్ ఫైల్, పీపీటీ ఫైల్, వాట్ ఎల్స్ డూ యూ హ్యావ్, హెచ్టిఎంఎల్ ఫైల్. ఈ ఫైల్ ఫార్మాట్స్ అన్ని వాటికి తెలుస్తుంది కాబట్టి ఐఎమ్ జస్ట్ థ్రోయింగ్ ఎ క్వశ్చన్. ఫైల్ ఫార్మాట్ ని బట్టి అందులో డేటాను తీసుకునే రీజనింగ్ ఉండదా అన్నది నా క్వశ్చన్. లేదంటే అలాంటి పని చేసే మోడల్ అంటే ఇలా డేటా సెట్ ప్రిపేర్ చేయడం కూడా ఒక మనం ఏఐ టూలే వాడొచ్చా?
వాడచ్చు. ఎస్, ఇక్కడ
మెడికల్ రికార్డ్ ఉందంటే అన్ని ఒక ఫార్మాట్ లో కూడా ఉండవు. ఇప్పుడు ఒక్కొక్క కంట్రీలో ఒక్కొక్క కంపెనీ దాంట్లో ఒక్కొక్క డయాగ్నోస్టిక్ సెంటర్ లో ఒక్కొక్క ఫార్మాట్ లో ఉంటుంది. మోస్ట్లీ ప్రింట్ లో ఉండొచ్చు, పీడిఎఫ్ లో ఉండొచ్చు, డేటాబేస్ లో ఉండొచ్చు, టేబుల్స్ లో.
సో హియర్ యాక్చువల్లీ Prasad, I got your question actually. So here in the basically here LLM trainings actually will be categorized into two different categories. Okay, one is SFT. SFT is basically supervised fine tuning, and second one is actually unsupervised. Unsupervised is basically human does that actually. Okay, for us we don't need like structure like this. We have to feed whatever input we give we take actually. Okay, that unstructured training actually currently LLMs cannot do. If LLMs do that, then that will become a more powerful AI LLM. Basically, that is actually called AGI, artificial intelligence, artificial general intelligence actually. Okay, so currently only human could do that with unstructured data and all. I mean, we can learn like anything, right? I mean, we don't need to put it in the structured way. Okay, so but to LLMs it is not possible as of now, as of today actually. So we should do this SFT only. That is actually supervised fine tuning. Supervised fine tuning is like we have to put it in, we have to tell that, okay, this is my data in this format. Okay, this is the problem, this is the solution. Once you feed this data to that LLM, right, LLM will use its general, I mean, knowledge to predict when we give some new disease also based on this contextual information, it could guess and it could predict and it could answer actually.
సో దీన్ని ట్రైనింగ్ అంటారా, ఫైన్ ట్యూనింగ్ అంటారా? రెండింటికి తేడా ఉందా? రెండు ఒకటేనా?
ఫైన్ ట్యూనింగ్ ట్రైనింగ్ సేమ్ ఓన్లీ. Fine tuning, training same only.
నా ఐడియా
బేసికలీ మెషిన్ లెర్నింగ్ కదా.
Yes, yes. Normally we'll call it as a fine tuning actually. Yeah.
నువ్వు చాలా ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ ఇచ్చి ఆ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్
డేటా
నుంచి
సెట్ ని సప్లై చేయడము LLM కి నథింగ్ బట్ ఫైన్ ట్యూనింగ్. అంటే మనం ఇవ్వాల్సిన
No, I will give you one. I will give you one real. I will give you one realistic example. You will understand. Okay. You guys are familiar with Maruti Suzuki cars, right? You know, they had one diesel engine actually called. I mean, in all Maruti vehicles, they used one diesel engine actually. That was actually from Fiat company actually. When Fiat manufactured the diesel engine, that was given to Maruti Suzuki. Maruti Suzuki, what did they? I mean, Maruti Suzuki engineers, what did they do is they fine tuned the engine. Okay, so that performed well than Fiat engine actually. I mean, in Fiat cars also same diesel engine was there, but it was not performing. In Maruti Suzuki cars, it was performing. I mean, it was doing amazing job actually. Till I mean, now they stopped, right, diesel engines, but till 2020 something, all Maruti cars, if you see, Swift, Ridge, every car had that same diesel engine actually. That is actually called DDIS engine. DDS is direct diesel injection actually. That was the tuning which was done by Maruti engineers. Maruti Suzuki didn't manufacture that from the scratch. So instead what they did is they have taken the engine from Fiat company, and their engineers actually fine tuned. I mean, they didn't touch the existing core functionality or core engine structure. So they changed the way the fuel is injecting. That was changed. So that is actually called fine tuning actually. I mean, they on top of the existing knowledge, we are adding additional knowledge actually to give more accurate answers. That is what fine tuning.
డీప్ సిక్ కూడా అదేనా చేసింది, వాళ్ళు చేసింది డీప్ సిక్ కూడా అదేనా?
డీప్ సీక్ కూడా అదే వాళ్ళు చేశారు యాక్చువల్లీ. ఆల్మోస్ట్
చాలా అంత అయిపోయింది వచ్చింది. మరి చాలా మంది చేస్తున్నారు కదా ఈ హగ్గింగ్ ఫస్ట్ దాంట్లో ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ మోడల్ తీసుకుని దానికి న్యూ డేటా ఇచ్చి.
బట్ వై డీప్ సీక్ వాజ్ got DeepSeek got more famous, I mean more popular, right? The reason is
వెయిట్ చేస్తున్నట్టున్నాడు, యాక్సెప్ట్ చేయమంటున్నట్లు.
The reason is actually just a minute.
వాసు ఎవరు మెసేజ్ కనపడింది, ప్లీజ్ యాక్సెప్ట్.
Yeah. Here, I mean, the main reason why DeepSeek got more famous and it completely shaked US stock, right? The reason is actually the cost. Okay, so what DeepSeek did is DeepSeek has taken the base model, foundation model from Facebook, that is actually Llama. They have taken Llama 3.2 whatever version. They have taken this as a base model. They trained the base model actually. Basically, they fine tuned Llama 3.2 model, and but here the difference what they made is after training Llama 3.2, after training, no, DeepSeek was actually performing, better than GPT. I mean, similar to GPTs in some
aspects. And I don't know. They star fitter, so maybe in some aspects it's not performing well.
Yes.
Some aspects. So
in reasoning and all, it was doing good. There are some metrics actually for models to measure models' performance. Reasoning and coding. There are many parameters. There are 5-6 parameters where we can use it for measuring the model's performance, how model perform.
So I have a question here. Say for example, I want to develop a chatbot specific to a field. Say for example, cold coffees or cha time. Okay. So a particular knowledge somehow we need to prepare the data sets and give it to him, give it to the model and train it, right?
Yeah.
ఇది చేసేటప్పుడు how do you choose a model? Do you choose the small model and only the specific data set is the better? What, or is there any advantage for you to go to a bigger or larger model?
Yeah, that Yeah, I got your question. That depends on infra. Okay, the infrastructure whatever you have actually. Okay, if you go with the bigger models, you would need a huge infra. Basically, training is a big process, right? Complex process, right? Where it requires huge gpus actually. So you have to, I mean, you have to check your infra. Based on infra, I mean, you really, if you have good infra, then we have to take the bigger I mean, you can take the bigger model and train that. Okay, so that depends on your business case also. Okay, so are you going to address, I mean, complex business case, or some basic questions like some kind of chatbot, customer care kind of chatbot, or whatever. You want to handle your company data, and you want to provide a chatbot where it can automate, production support or customer support or whatever. And then all these are parameters, all these are different parameters actually, where we
Yeah.
have to consider.
So one more question, అయితే say there are 3 models already: Llama 3.2, Llama 5.2, Llama 7.5. Okay, that means the bigger the number, the more the data it is trained on, right? Say
we,
for
uh, we have to
so
go with these parameters actually. Here 20 billion parameters or 120 billion parameters, parameters matter here.
సో ఇప్పుడు is there any time difference between how much time it takes for each of those? అంటే ఆల్రెడీ ఎక్కువ డేటాతో ట్రైన్ అయిన ఉన్న మోడల్ని కలిపితే ఎక్కువ టైం పట్టడం అలా ఉంటుందా? కీపింగ్ ద నాలెడ్జ్ సేమ్, రైట్? 3.5కి 5.5కి 7.5కి సేమ్, లైక్ మేబీ నా నాలెడ్జ్ సోర్స్ ఈజ్ లైక్ 5 PDF files or 5 CSV files ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. సో ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ మోడల్ని రీట్రైన్ చేసినప్పుడు లేదంటే ఫైన్ ట్యూన్ చేయటం అంటే ఉన్నదాన్ని ఆన్ టాప్ ఆఫ్ దట్ చేస్తుందా, లేదంటే అసలు కంప్లీట్ గా మొత్తం అన్ని ఎంబెడింగ్స్ మారిపోతాయా?
No, it won't
మోడల్ అదే ఉంటుంది.
it won't
Base
touch,
model.
it won't change the base model. And that also depends on what type of technique which we are using actually. Here we will talk about that. There is a technique called LoRa. Okay, LoRa and QLoRa. LoRa stands for low ranking adaptation. Low ranking adaptation, this is just one of the training techniques uh, where it is widely used actually. Okay, so what it does is, in LoRa technique, I mean, in LoRa algorithm, what it does is it freezes existing parameters. I mean, the model parameters, whatever. Say for example, the model has 8 billion parameter. Okay, this 8 billion parameters, it doesn't change. It freezes the models. It doesn't touch. On top of it, what it does is, for the new data, it actually injects the new parameters into the existing neural network layers. Okay, so this is the, I mean, that's why LoRa is widely used actually. But in the beginning, I mean, there were some other old techniques also where it doesn't change the existing, but it will, on top of that only, it will add. But now this LoRa basically provides more advanced technique where it freezes existing model weights and biases and injects this new data weights and parameters into the neural network. This is a, I mean, very good technique actually, LoRa technique. And QLoRa, it is a next version of LoRa. This you might know about quantization, right? Model quantization. Quantization is nothing but it is an optimization technique actually, where we can reduce the model size. Okay, why model size? Model size and model size also matters actually during the training and while training also. If the model size is less, then you can run on your laptop, you can run in your mobile and all. So what it does is, before quantization, the model weights or model size might be some 8 GB. Okay, so after doing quantization, quantization is nothing but quantization is nothing but a process where we can reduce the model size. How can we reduce the model size? Here there is a concept called 16-bit floating point and 32-bit floating point, right? If the model got initially in the model training, if they use 32 bits floating point, I mean floating data types, uh, if the model, I mean, if the model got trained with 32-bit and the size is actually 8 GB. So, but this one, I mean, to without impacting the accuracy and all, this 32-bit can be reduced to 16-bit floating point. 16-bit floating point. So that time what happens is half of the size will be reduced, right? This 8 GB will become, it might become 6 GB also or 5 GB also. We don't know, but that is how quantization will work actually. That they will change the data type size actually, bits 32 to 6 or 16 to 8. It might lose some data. I mean, there is some, we have to compromise, right? It's not like okay, 32 bit. It will be more. It will give more precision, right here. But in 16-bit, we will lose some of the data for the floating point numbers, because in the model, in the neural network, everything is floating point numbers. Okay, when you create a vector and vector embedding, it creates a vector embedding is nothing but what? Vector is nothing but uh, an array of floating point numbers, a representation of floating point numbers for the token. Okay, so that is how, I mean, QLoRa. I mean, in QLoRa, what normally do is
Naidu, one
uh,
question. Is LoRa and QLoRa are part of AI tools, or it is a part of neural networks?
no. It's not part of neural network. It is basically a training technique. It is there in training process actually. We have
It
to
is
choose.
only
Fine
training.
tune. Mm.
We have to choose while training.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, we will try one example actually with
Yeah.
code also. Then we will come to know what exactly these techniques. Yeah. Okay. I think now we have already completed 1 hour. Huh? Yeah. So now I will quickly do that actually here. Okay, base model. Uh, yeah, this base model gets changed based on the task actually. So you could explore remaining also, but I am quickly doing this one example here. That is actually what is text classification. Here a text classification, and I am using this bet also. Okay, I mean this is from Google actually, bet model. We could try all these actually. Any one of
Hmm.
them we can choose. Okay, these and that's it. And here these are the parameters actually. We can put it if you change it to JSON, we can change the values. Here you see mixed precision floating point 16. This I can make it to reduce the model size. I can make it 8 also. 8-bit floating point is there. I don't think so, right? 8-bit is not there, I think. Right? Floating point starts with 16 only, na? Float data type. Float
Hmm.
data 8 bits, 2 bits, 8 only actually. Yeah.
బేసిక్స్ కష్టం రా బట్
Hmm.
నాకు గుర్తు 16.
16, yes, 8 is not there, 8 floating is not there. Yeah, so this is the learning rate, this is the epochs I already told, right, number of cycles where it goes through the training, and this is batch size. This we need not change actually, we can keep it default. That's it actually. We have to choose data source we can choose Hugging Face Hub, or we can choose local also. Okay, when you choose Hugging Face Hub, you have to give Hugging Face data set URL actually here.
Hmm.
uh, in Hugging Face,
The data set that you created, open కూడా ఉంటాయా?
yes, the data set
Hmm.
which we created, or we can use I mean others
Hmm.
also. If it is suitable for your requirement, you can use. Otherwise, we have to take the template and download and change the format, whatever. And for example, I have sentiment analysis. There are many. If you see, sentiment analysis is basically the positive, negative response. Something like feedback. Okay, if you give a if you give a rating for your products, right, there would be some negative or there should be positive. So those can be trained
Hmm.
by giving the sentiment analysis data set. So there are many sentiment data analysis, sentiment and analysis data sets. We could download any one of them and we can use it. Okay, otherwise we have to give the direct
ఈ
path
డేటా
actually.
సెట్స్ అన్ని ఒకే ఫార్మాట్ లో ఉంటాయా?
Different. It could be CSV, it could be JSON, mainly JSON actually.
Okay.
Some are GJSON also. I don't know what is that GJSON.
సో ఈ డేటా సెట్స్ అని ఇప్పుడు నువ్వు చూస్తున్నవన్నీ అవన్నీ అంటే డిఫరెంట్ యూజర్స్ క్రియేట్ చేసి పెట్టినవా అందులో హగ్గింగ్ ఫేస్ లో, లేదంటే హగ్గింగ్ ఫేస్ నుంచి వచ్చినవా ప్రొడక్ట్స్ అనేది?
Which one? These are all from Hugging Face only, existing by other users.
ఓకే.
This is GeoJSON also, but I don't know this GeoJSON actually. What is this?
Create quick simple tool for
టెంప్లెట్ తీసుకొని
creating,
అందులో
viewing and
మనకు
sharing.
కావాల్సిన డేటాని ఇన్పుట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు
Huh.
కదా,
Yeah, yeah.
మన ఓన్
Yes, yes.
So, answers. Okay.
Yeah, so here the data set which I prepared is actually this one, text and target, some positive, negative data. Okay, so here what I'm doing is I'm just selecting. Here I'm selecting local because I'm taking from local, not from Hugging Face. Here we need to upload the training set here, data set. Here I have this test.csv. Okay, same file, test.csv, and open this. Okay, after this we have to do column mapping. Actually here we have to tell that how the data set is mapped in the csv file. Okay, that we have to basically that labels we have to map here. Here the text is actually the first text, the first field is actually text, next is actually target, label map to target. Once this mapping is correct, if most of the errors will come from the column mapping only. Okay, if you don't map correctly, there will be a problem. If it is a JSON, we have to give JSON format actually here, the mapping columns. Okay. We can get some examples actually. We can use GPT or perplexity to give the mapping format. If you give the csv, it will tell. I mean, this csv, if you give it to GPT, it will tell you. Okay, now
So there is no one set standard format ఉండదు కదా, ఎందుకంటే డేటా బట్టి
no,
మారిపోతుంది.
there is no standard format. I have seen this format also. I didn't explore this GeoJSON. We have to see. I see some formats files are there with GeoJSON also. Is encoding variety of geographic geographic data structure. I think type feature go check. Okay.
So preparing the data set is a huge task then.
It is very huge. Yeah. That's why I mean, training is not a simple job actually, right? We have to. I mean, even the GPT and DeepSeek, they I mean, some hundreds or thousands of people worked on preparing the data sets, giving it to models, training. We can I mean, input the programmatically also we can do that actually. This is I mean, this is easy to show, that's why I'm showing. But normally we have to do it, we can do it with program also, like we can create a Python program where we can use some libraries to do this. Okay, so now everything is set and ready for the training. Here once everything is done, on the top you see start training. Okay, click on this, and auto train is paid off offering, and you will be charged for this section. Okay, you can ignore this message. Okay, yes, I am sure. Once it is done, see monitor success. Okay, if the format is incorrect, then mapping is incorrect, you might get error section.
Where is it running, on your machine or in the cloud?
It is on the cloud.
Right?
It is on the cloud. Yeah. Here logs we can see here.
Yes.
On the left hand side is, on the left hand side you see logs. Here here see these steps are happening actually. I mean, data saving the data set.
Usually how much time it takes, like for the kind of data you
This is 2 minutes, 3 minutes actually.
Okay.
Model.
గూగుల్ దానికి కూడా ఇది చేసావా?
Hackathon? No. There we didn't train. We used existing Gemini Pro.
Okay.
Training.
You didn't have to train it with anything specific to
No.
Financial.
Yes.
General
డేటా ఆల్రెడీ తీసుకున్నాడు.
ఫ్యాక్చువల్ డేటా ఏం రాదు అక్కడ, రీజనింగ్ కాబట్టి.
Financial data and all, it came through MCP, so no need to train. Yeah. So you will get a message like this actually, paused. This space this space has been paused by its owner and all. It will come like this, but in the background the training is happening actually. Okay, to see that training is done or not. Normally in community we have to get the notification. I don't know, notification is not coming, but here you can go to your profile, click on your profile, and if you scroll down, the models will be whatever models are trained. Here today I trained all these 4 models actually. I mean 4 times. You see here, this is the model custom. We have given custom training only, the model name here, custom training LLM. And if I click on this is my model actually. Just now it got trained, and here here you can see in the files and versions you can see the training file, actually the model file. Okay. Here.
Naidu, one question.
Hmm.
ఇక్కడ వచ్చి కాలమ్స్ కి కీవర్డ్స్ కి లింక్ ఉంటుందా? కీవర్డ్స్ అనేది ఇందాక కంటెక్స్ట్ లో కీవర్డ్స్ చెప్పావు కదా.
No. That is context. Context is actually for the model response actually.
అదే ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ డేటా ట్రైన్ అయిన తర్వాత ఈ కాలమ్స్ కి ఆ కీ
సంబంధం లేదు
లేదా? ఓకే.
It is knowledge, right? Here, see here we have this LLM, okay? This LLM and this has trained. I mean, this got trained with, say, for example, some 10 GB data. Okay. So with you have your own data of 1 GB data, right? 1 GB data you trained. Now it will become 11 GB actually. 11 GB. I mean, the parameters will become some 11 billion parameters or whatever. I mean, the size will be increased actually. 10 GB to 11 GB. It will add some extra knowledge. I mean, here this is the existing knowledge. After training you added extra knowledge. Now this LLM is capable of answering for this extra data also, whatever you have provided, right?
Yeah.
So now come back here, and here important thing actually here, files and if you see files and versions, here you see the model file. This is the model file actually, model dot save sensors. Okay, this is the Hugging Face format actually. This Hugging Face format we can change, we can convert into universal format called GGUF. In the previous session we discussed, right? GGUF. This is the standard model file for many of the models actually. GPT generated unified format, that is GGUF. Okay, the extension actually, model extension dot GGUF. But this is also model only. The only difference between GGF and this Hugging Face model is this is Hugging Face specific actually. We have to, I mean, if you want to work with Volam and all, we have to convert into GGF and then use it. Hugging Face model
So
also should work. But
you can now download it, download your new model, the trained model, and download చేసుకోవాలంటే నీ local
we can do that.
లేదంటే దీనికి యాక్సెస్ చేయొచ్చా? ఏమైనా API కి ఏమైనా కావాలా?
Yes, we can give it. Hugging Face.
So ఇప్పుడు I can connect to your custom trained model, right?
You can use it.
This model. So can I connect to this model now?
Yes. If you go to Hugging Face.
Hello?
Yes. Hello?
అయిపోయింది.
Hello, I'm audible? Hello? Hello. Prasad?
Yeah. Now it's okay.
Yes, you can do that. Here, if you go to models.
So you need to make it public and.
It's already public, I think, no?
Yeah.
Here, if you go to models and if you search with a custom model, it will come.
చాలా మంది ఉంటాయి కదా, మిలియన్స్ లో ఉంటాయి కదా.
That's why I have given my name actually last time. If I search with my name, automatically it will. This is the one. These are the models actually which I here I do local training and all this one. This also I have given. Now I do local training. Yeah.
What do I need to access it now?
So here
Hugging Face account undala.
Hugging Face account undali. So you can download my model. Come here, go to model dot save tensors.
Okay.
If you download this model, it will download into local and we can work on it. And
అక్కడే cloud లో run అవుతుందా instance?
Yes. They have given some inference models actually here. But I think they stopped actually. This model is not deployed by any inference provider. We have to provide. Here it is asking credit card actually. Normally we can test it here only. Otherwise you see here, you can come here and click on deploy. You can deploy any of these services.
Okay.
and you can click on use model also, use model, and we can use it in Google Colab also. I mean, Google Colab, I mean, we can do development there actually. I mean, we can directly run the commands and through online editor actually. It's like online editor there also, it provides cloud setup and all, Google Colab.
ఇది డిప్లాయ్మెంట్ వచ్చి జీసీపీకి సపోర్ట్ చేయట్లేదా, ఓన్లీ ఏడబ్ల్యూఎస్ అండ్ ఏజూర్ చూపిస్తుంది?
ఎస్,
గూగుల్
GCP
ప్లే
వాళ్ళ మెయిన్ జెమినై ఓన్లీ, గూగుల్ క్లౌడ్. కానీ అక్కడ వీ కెన్ క్రియేట్ VM there and we can deploy there also, no problem. Here we have to create a VM and install Python and then deploy there. We install Volab and all, and then download the model and then run it. We can run it.
ఓకే, వీ హ్యావ్ టు డౌన్లోడ్ ద ఫైల్ అండ్ సపరేట్లీ రన్.
Yeah.
ఓకే.
Okay.
సో ఆల్
And
దీస్ AI కంపెనీస్ కొత్తగా వచ్చేసిన పుట్టగొడుగుల్లాగా వచ్చిన ఈ స్పెసిఫిక్, సే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ రెజ్యూమ్ రైటర్ అనేది AI టు AI వచ్చింది. సో దే ఆల్ టేక్ సమ్ బేస్ మోడల్, ట్రైన్ ఇట్ విత్ their specific data and deploy it somewhere, and then
like that only.
apps అన్ని కనెక్ట్ అవుతాయి కదా.
Yes, yeah. And even this Perplexity, it is becoming very popular, right? They also did the same thing. They have taken the base model Perplexity.
ఆప్టిమైజ్ చేశాడు. ఆప్టిమైజ్ చేసి
Here what did they do is they have taken the base model and they fine tuned. That is also being used, but apart from their model, they have tie up with other models also. That is the advantage for them. Okay, so that's why Perplexity is becoming popular, because if you see ChatGPT, it works with only GPT-4 or GPT-5, now latest 5. Okay, and if you take Google Gemini, it works with only Google Gemini Pro, the latest model from that. Okay, but if you see Perplexity, they have tie up with all the models. So here that's why, I mean, it is giving very good responses, and the main advantage is they integrate with search engine. Okay, Perplexity, it does this search and then it uses LLMs. Okay, so here if you see Perplexity screen, I think you might have used, right? Here if you see
అంటే ఇప్పుడు బేస్ మోడల్లో ఆ నాలెడ్జ్ బేస్ ఏదైతే సోర్స్ ఉందో, సో అలాంగ్ విత్ డేటా, ఇప్పుడు నువ్వు డేటా సప్లై చేసావు నీ ఫైన్ ట్యూనింగ్ కోసం, నీ ప్రాజెక్ట్ కి, నీ అప్లికేషన్ కి. సో ఓన్లీ డేటా ఇచ్చావు, కానీ నువ్వు దాంతో పాటు అది ఎట్లా రిట్రీవ్ చేయాలి, అల్గారిథం కూడా నువ్వు మెన్షన్ చేస్తున్నావా? అదే ఎక్కడి నుంచి వస్తుంది అది రిట్రీవల్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అనేది? హౌ క్విక్లీ యూ విల్ రిట్రీవ్, హౌ యాక్యురేట్లీ యూ విల్ రిట్రీవ్ ద డేటా ఫ్రమ్ యువర్ గివెన్ డేటా సెట్, right?
No, that we don't mention. That is power of LLM only.
అదే అంటున్నా,
LLM,
ఓకే, బేస్ క్లాస్ నుంచి నీకు ఇన్హెరిట్ అవుతుంది అనమాట.
once LLM got trained, it is up to LLM's knowledge to give the response. That is actually called Gen AI, right? Gen AI is basically generative AI. So LLM is nothing but Gen AI only, internally generative AI only, which uses its knowledge to generate the response. Okay, it really doesn't care about how they trained and all. I mean, eventually the data actually trained is here only.
అల్గారిథం యూజ్ చేస్తున్నారు, రిట్రీవల్ మెకానిజం.
No, that is already there. That is already there in this LLM.
అంటే ఇప్పుడు నువ్వు సింపుల్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ లో పెట్టావు, కానీ ఒక చిన్న టెక్స్ట్ లో JSON ఫైల్లోనో లేదంటే ఇలా కామా సెపరేటెడ్ వాల్యూలోనో, ఇప్పుడు ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ రియలీ బిగ్ డేటా, ఆ డేటాని ఏ ఫామ్ లో, ఈజ్ దేర్ ఎనీ స్పెసిఫిక్ ఫార్మాట్ ఇన్ విచ్ ఇట్ అండర్స్టాండ్స్, ఆర్ ఏదో ఒక రెగ్యులర్ ఫార్మాట్ లో
ట్రైనింగ్
లో నువ్వు ఇందాక
training, that's what I'm telling. Training, we can use CSV, we can use JSON, we can use
no the column names ఇవి, what is the significance of నేమ్స్? అది
అంటే ఇక్కడ ఆన్సర్ కాబట్టి అట్లా ఇచ్చాడు రివ్యూని బట్టి.
the training, this is to auto train. Actually auto train, they have inbuilt parsers, right? They see internally it will read the CSV file and it will take this as a key value pair. Okay, and
టెక్స్ట్ అండ్ టార్గెట్. సపోజ్ ఇప్పుడు టెక్స్ట్ బదులు వాల్యూ అండ్ టార్గెట్ అన్నావు అనుకో, ఏమవుతుంది?
value training, in the training screen we have to change this the mapping there.
అది ఎక్కడ చేసావు మ్యాపింగ్? అది ఎక్కడ ఉంది?
అది ఇక్కడ చేసాం కదా.
ఇందాక
యా through interface we can do like this, but through code we will write a method to read the file and then format it in the required format which the model is expecting. That we will do through code actually.
ఎందుకు కోడ్తో చేయటం అంటే నీకు ఫార్మాట్ కన్వర్షన్ కోసమా?
this is very simple data kada. So when we have complex data we have to write our own code to read it actually. For some basic examples and all it is okay, but
అప్పుడు పైథాన్ వాడతారా?
Python and some libraries. So here
నువ్వు ఇదేనో రీడ్ చేసి నీకు కావాల్సిన ఫార్మాట్ లోకి పైథాన్ ద్వారా కన్వర్ట్ చేసి ఫైల్ క్రియేట్ చేసి ఆ ఫైల్ ఫీడ్ చేసి
right
ఫైల్ ఆపరేషన్స్ ఉంటాయి.
right okay. One important information here: once you train the model in Hugging Face, it will generate this Hugging Face model actually, model that safe sensors, okay, safe tensors. This we have to convert into GGF actually, okay, to make it universal actually, okay. So that we can do it through code. I mean, I can only do and upload actually actual model. Otherwise, with this also we can directly deploy here using this model transformers, Colab and all, and we can deploy it in any of these cloud servers also directly. Initially, they provide. I mean, before actually, they used to provide some inference server actually here, where we can directly deploy here and we can only test it. But due to this free account, right, they are not. I mean, they stopped it since now. This model is not deployed by any inference provider actually. Before 6 months ago, 1 year ago, it was there. They removed actually this free feature actually. Otherwise, here only we can directly test this model whether it is working or not. Okay, this we can test it. Now I will quickly jump into the training with Python. So training with Python, how to do it? Okay, so here what we need to do is here fine tuning. I told, right, fine tuning can be done using Hugging Face. This is the easiest way. Okay, and using Python we can use Google Colab. So Google Colab basically it's an online editor where it provides cloud server also. Okay, for it is really good for Python developers. It is mainly developed for Python only, but it supports other languages also. This Google Colab. Here you can go to Google Colab. You can see colab.research.google.com, and with I have done some trainings actually in the past: accuracy predictor and model trainer. I will open one of them. I think this I did it here. Okay. Yeah. So this Google Colab, what it does is it is also similar to your Hugging Face, but Hugging Face completely GUI. Here it is basically editor actually. Okay. So here this is an editor, and here on the top you see here you can connect to hosted runtime T4. This is TensorFlow T4. This is a VM actually, where it has GPUs and CPUs also. Okay, it is connecting to VM which is there in the Google Cloud. Now connected here, you see here RAM 12 GB and disk, and some GPUs also there actually. Python 3 Google Compute Engine backend GPUs. Yeah, basically what here it is really interesting actually. You can explore this. We don't need to spend much time on this. Here what we can do is we can directly run Python commands line by line. Okay, if you run this pip install, right, first it will, if you run this command here, first it will install all the libraries on this VM which is connected here, which is used here. Okay, so it is similar to your local only, but locally we don't have GPUs and all. We could use this Colab actually to do that. Here you see it is installing, and here the files which are used for training and all we can place here in sample data folder. Here we can upload actually directly. We can upload from Google Drive, and we can download also these files directly. For example, RNSIT here test. If I do, I can download here. This is the test file actually. Okay, training we use it for training. this is yeah, it's a big file, I think.
సో ఇప్పుడు నువ్వు చెప్పేది గూగుల్ కలాబ్ అండ్ ఏంటది యూజ్ సారీ హగ్గింగ్ ఫేస్ వచ్చి సేమ్ ఫంక్షనాలిటీ కదా.
Hugging Face same functionality without coding.
ఇది పైథాన్ తో
It is, yeah, here we have more control over the training. Here in Hugging Face, the column mapping and all we have to give correctly actually. Okay, for complex data formats we cannot give. I mean that doesn't support. Collab, it is code, right? You could do anything, whatever you want. Like you can read, you can write Python functions and do the transformation and then do everything. Okay, and I think this installation is taking time. Let it take time, but that is how this Collab actually works. You can run step by step. I mean, you first we did installs, and these are the imports. Once imports are done, we can run the. I think we can run cell by cell actually. Okay, in this cell, this code is there. When you run a Python program, it runs the entire program, right? Import everything. But in Collab, we can do line by line, like okay, step by step. Okay, do this, and then check the result, and do this, check this result. It's like that. Okay, so that is how, I mean,
Python debugger.
it's a kind of, yeah. It's an online coding setup, coding environment. It's not
Basically, even with the code here, you are generating data set kada, that some end of the goal of this is to create a data set antena ee Python code di.
This one, the goal of this is to train the model using the existing data set. Existing now we have already prepared the data set. Okay, if you want to train, if you want to train LLM with that data set, we can use this, I mean, steps actually.
Okay.
So here there are I mean, if you see already we have executed, so that's why it is showing requirements already satisfied. And here you see here we can run this piece of code. Okay, and we can run this notebook login, this piece of code. Okay, that is how step by step we can run in this Collab. And this function, how it works, this function we can run and test it. And so finally in the last step the training will be done, and the model will be uploaded to Hugging Face. Here we can directly
why do I need to do all this?
Why do we need to do all this? Because this Python provides more control over the training. If you have data sets, complex data sets, we can write your formatters, and we can tune the parameters, and we can write our own logic actually to do all these steps. With Hugging Face we cannot do that. That's why we can do this actually.
When you said complex data, say for example you have a big SQL table, how do you make the model understand the data that you are giving? దానికి ఏమి మరి ఫార్మాట్ ఉండదు కదా. ఈచ్ డేటా సెట్ విల్ హ్యావ్ ఇట్స్ ఓన్ సెటప్.
No, first before data set itself is a huge task actually. To prepare the data set, first we have to do labeling, data set labeling. There are tools actually. Data set labeling, labeling should be done. Based on the labeling we will create final data set actually. There are tools to do that. There are many tools actually here. Data set labeling tools, labeling tool. Yeah, this is the one, Label Studio. This is one of the widely used tools actually, Label Studio. It is a big thing actually. We cannot just tell just like that, but that how to prepare the data set, that depends on the type of data and the data set as well. The data.
Say for example, okay, example తీసుకుందాం, help file. ఓకే, కంపెనీ హెల్ప్ ఫైల్ ని మొత్తము ఒక మోడల్కి ఇచ్చి దాన్ని ట్రైన్ చేసి ఎవరైనా వస్తే వాళ్ళు ఆ హెల్ప్ ఫైల్లోకి వెళ్ళి వెతుక్కోక లేకుండా దే షుడ్ బి ఏబుల్ టు ఇంటరాక్ట్ విత్ ది చాట్ బాట్, అండ్ ద చాట్ బాట్ షుడ్ గివ్ ద ప్రాపర్ ఆన్సర్స్. ఇది చేయాలంటే నాకు హగ్గింగ్ ఫేస్ లో అయిపోతుందా? డూ ఐ నీడ్ టు లెర్న్ పైథాన్ అండ్ డూ ఆల్ దీస్ థింగ్స్?
No. Python here for training this mod here for data set preparation we are not using Python. Data set preparation we are doing with other tools. Okay.
Okay.
Here, if I see this sample test data, how did I prepare? I prepared. It's a small data I have typed actually, right? For the generation
Yeah.
of the test set, so we can use tools. So we can use AI. We can use LLMs also. Now, for example,
Mm.
if I tell the requirement, no, this perplexity does that. Here, prepare. What is your requirement? Prepare
Data set.
data set
Mm.
for
For
customer help
error.
customer help data, whatever. I mean, we'll give some sample, we'll see what it does. Customer
Mm.
help data. Okay. We have to use these only. Before Python, nothing here. For training, right? We don't write anything from scratch here. Python here, the tools which we are using actually all existing only. And if you give the data set, and your AI tool will generate the formatter for that. That formatter here we have to copy paste here and then do it. Before giving it to the model, we have to format it.
Mm.
Here in this example, if you see here, this is the trainer. Okay, SF. This is the trainer. We have sending trainer here. This is the data set test. Okay, and this is the output. This is one example actually which my daughter has done. One use case actually. Yeah, one use case she has done. Basically, we have to prepare the data set outside this training, before the training actually. Training and training code and data set, nothing. There is nothing to do with this actually code. Here, once our data set is ready, right? Here we have to copy the data set file here, okay? And we have to input this data set to the model, right? So there
Mm.
it requires a format. That time
Mm.
we have to give this data set, and you have to give the model, and your AI will generate a formatter code actually. A formatter you have to copy paste here. You see here formatter example. This will take is in input and then annotations, and in this format. I mean, in Hugging Face, I have given this text as that
Mm.
key value pair. Right? Same thing here actually. Formatted, and then this code does the formatting. I mean, this code. How did I create this
So
code?
the Laura and all comes into picture here, I guess.
It
Huh?
comes here. Laura is here. Yeah, Laura configuration is done here.
Okay.
LoRa configuration, this is the one, this is the casual task, this one. Okay. Yeah. So we will take one example, Prasad.
Yeah.
What we will do is, see, we have to do step by step. Okay. We should not jump into here and there. Okay. For first, what is your requirement? Okay. Your requirement, you have some data. Okay. You have some data for some business case. Okay. You want
Mm.
to train that so particular LLM with that data. Okay. First, for that, forget about which model you are going to use, and all data set remains the same for any model. Okay. The data set format doesn't depend on any model.
Mm.
Sorry, any LLM. Yeah, any model or LLM. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't depend actually. So once you prepare your data set, with that data set you can train any LLM. Okay, that is very generic. Okay. So once you have the requirement, and you told some PDF file is there, right? You have PDF file. So if you give that PDF file, it will create data set for that PDF. I mean, the tools will do that here. Normally, I
Mm.
mean, if you want to do very professional way, then tools are there to do it actually. Like there are, I mean, in the project, there will be different people, right? Some people will work on data set preparation, some people will work on data training, some people will work on, model training, some people will evaluate the model testing and all. I mean, the core development. So one person doesn't do everything, na? So these are the professional tools actually where we can use it for creating the data sets using this data set labeling. Okay. So in your example, we will take that content first, and then we will first prepare the data sets. Once the data sets are created, then we will decide, I mean, which model you are going to use. I mean, which open source model is performing better. Based on that, we will take that. I mean, now GPT OSS also came, right? This also, I mean, we have to think about this. Okay, if GPT OSS is doing really good than other models, then we'll go with the GPT OSS. Okay, otherwise we can go ahead with Mistral, we can go ahead with Llama 3.2, Llama 3.2 or whatever, and there are other models also.
Yeah, I just shared a link. If you can open it once, I'll tell you what my question is. In the chat. Swiggy partner FAQ and potential. Yeah. Account in the message. Yep, that one. Okay. So
data is here.
Example chapna. So the data is FAQ. Okay. There are questions if a restaurant is POS, if a restaurant is not integrated, and so my question is, I have a structure where I have some subheadings and then questions, and maybe once you open answers. So idantatni nenu edana CSV lo pettukovala mari ela how do I train a model so that it understands, it uses model's general reasoning and takes the questions and then gives answers. So chat bot laga cheyadaniki ee data meeda cheyocha ala cheyali.
Yes. So here to solve your problem, there are two ways, right? The first way is, I mean, the first approach is actually training itself. Okay, since training is expensive, we normally don't go with training. The second approach is actually with RAG. Okay, so RAG is the right solution for your use case, because we really don't need to do that. In case of RAG, right, we can put unstructured data. We need not do any data sets and all. From PDFs only, we will directly generate the vectors and put it in vector database and then implement chartbot. It will directly work with your own data. We'll quickly do that actually. I mean, this example I will quickly show you. We will try this real example only, your case only.
Okay, let's I mean, just in case నువ్వు రికార్డింగ్ ఆపేసి మళ్ళీ ఆన్ చేయడం బెటర్ ఏమో, చాలా పెద్ద పెద్ద ఫైల్స్ తయారో తెలియదంటే టాపిక్ ఎలాగ మార్చుతున్నాం కాబట్టి జస్ట్ టాపిక్